in mind for the weekend, so we're just gonna go with the flow, see what happens, see what we get up to, and hopefully have a nice, cozy, relaxing weekend. It's Friday here, it's Anzac Day in New Zealand, so we have all the day off, we have a long weekend, and we just had Easter weekend last weekend as well, so we were down in Rotorua back home seeing our families, which was really nice. We had a really good weekend. The weather was absolutely horrible, so we ended up spending most of it just inside. Lots of reading and games, and we did a little paint and sip with Dom's family, which was really fun. That was a very nice relaxing activity for all of us to do together, and made cinnamon rolls again with my mum. Well, she made them. I stood on the sidelines and cheered her on. And we did a couple of Easter egg hunts. They had to be inside because of how horrible the weather was. But that was really fun. So we did it with both my family and then with Dom's family as well. And all of us are in our late 20s, early 30s, and we don't have any children yet, but you know, so we're all full grown adults, but we are having a great time. And we ended up staying down a little bit longer for a job interview for me, which unfortunately wasn't successful, but that's okay. That is what it is. So onwards and upwards to the next thing. I've been having a very nice chill morning, just reading my book. I did pick up the new Emily Henry book this week, and I am just so pleased to be back reading an Emily Henry book again. So I've been loving that, and then we are just about to head out for a walk, take Breno out. I think today's the only good day of weather we're going to get, so we're going to make the most of it and get outside while we can, because I think tomorrow and Sunday are going to be really rainy. But yeah, let's get into the weekend.
Sit. Oh, good boy.
Camped out on the porch, trying to work this out. Raining in my head, but my body is a drought. I'm in the hole, just waiting for my momentary stride. Then press the other way on Pharaoh's fury ride.
Later now. We went out for our walk. When we got back, I was chatting to my mum on the phone, and we were figuring out our accommodation for Italy. We've pretty much booked all of that now for our trip later this year, which is so exciting. So I'm really pleased to have that taken care of, and now we've got the flights, we've got the accommodation, and we can get into the fun like itinerary planning stuff. So that was really good. I've just been really having a really lazy morning, or day, which is so nice. I just had some lunch, and then just been scrolling on my phone, honestly. Scrolling on Substack, which is my new favorite spot to be. If you don't have Substack, you need to check it out, because it's just such a wholesome, cozy, creative place on the internet. You just feel so like warm and fuzzy being there. I love it so much. So that was fun. And now I'm doing a little bit of embroidery. My goal for this year is to get really good at embroidery. So I'm just doing lots of little practice designs at the moment, and this is the most recent one. You can't probably see all of it, but you can see some. It's a little like beachy scene. So we've got like a little beach ball, a wave, bucket, etc. And it's just on like a bit of scrap fabric, but the intention is just to practice the different stitches and get really good at it so that I can eventually start embroidering like tablecloths and napkins and like actual like on my clothes and things, on t-shirts, and making little gifts for people. We were over the Easter weekend looking at our old family photo albums and looking over like baby photos and whatnot, and I was looking at all of the clothes that I used to wear as a baby, and my aunt made so many of the outfits that I used to wear, and I was just thinking like how cool is that going to be to have little nieces and nephews that I can like sew things for and do like embroidery on them. It's going to be so cute. So I've got to work on my skills so that when that day comes they look cute. About 3 weeks ago, Dom and I took this sourdough making course with this adorable grandma who lives kind of nearby. She runs these courses out of her home, and so now we're on the sourdough baking train. So we've made we've made 2 lots together, and then last week I made my first batch by myself, which was so much work by myself. My god, like most of the process is pretty straightforward and doesn't take much time and doesn't take too much effort. It's just kind of like mixing stuff and then you leave it for ages. But there's this one part where you're like, we don't have a hand mixer, so you're mixing it by hand, and my biceps were just killing me doing that, because with 2 loaves of bread it was like about 20 minutes of just like hand mixing, and it really, you know, really got my biceps going. So that was rough by myself, but I just made our probably like 4th loaf now. Made that yesterday, started the whole prepping process, and then I've just put it in the oven now, and planning on making some pumpkin soup for dinner. So we're gonna have fresh bread and soup, and it's gonna be so cozy and so good. But really enjoying the process. It's very satisfying to make something your own like that. It takes so much time, and I love that. It feels very rewarding because it's not a quick process. There's no instant gratification with this. It is a slow thing of being very intentional and taking each step and following it carefully, and yeah, it takes, you know, like 24 hours ish to actually make a loaf of bread, and that feels like very satisfying to do. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I feel like we've got a lot to learn still. If you make sourdough, then you'll know as well all the different steps, but I think the part that I'm still struggling with is the shaping of the loaves. I keep watching TikTok tutorials on it, and they're like, you know, doing these things and they're showing you the basic moves, and then we go to do it, and it's not simple or easy or beginner friendly. They're actually so, I don't know why it seems like so simple when they're doing it, and then we try to do it and it just gets like stuck to the bench, and it's just like the dough's very sticky, and I don't know if that's normal or if we're doing something wrong that's making it so sticky, but it's not so easy to shape. So I feel like we've still got a lot to learn, but it's fun to be practicing and perfecting our method and getting used to it all. At the moment we're still very much, sticking with the recipe that she gave us and following it all completely to a T. But hopefully over time we'll learn it all and have it all like memorized, and also just know what works for us, because I guess with baking anything, but especially bread, so much is like affected by the temperature and the humidity of where you happen to be, and so the times can be probably quite different. So that's what we've been doing. It's a fun little hobby to add into the mix. I'm always collecting hobbies, so I'm enjoying doing that. But it's just like nothing better than freshly baked bread. So I'm so excited for dinner tonight. Hello, it's the next day and we've just come to the mall, and the plan is to get some shoes for Dom because he's picked up a bit of a running habit this year and his shoes are really worn through. So there he is. And then we're also going to pop in to Kmart because I keep stealing Dom's coat hangers. And we're running low on coat hangers, so we desperately...
She keeps buying clothes.
Yeah.
And then just stealing all my coat hangers.
I do that. So, I'm going to have a little peruse in the mall, and yeah, that's all.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things.
I'm making some pumpkin donuts this morning. I'm very excited. I've never made these before. I've never made donuts before, but I have had this recipe before. Someone made it once and it was delicious. So I'm very excited. I've always been a bit intimidated by the frying part of making donuts, so that's why I've never made them before. But this has been on my bucket list of things to make for ages, so I figured a rainy weekend is the best time to make it.
Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon.
Been editing this video and looking back at the footage, I'm like, what have I even done this weekend? It's been such a quiet, slow weekend, but really just very realistic because there's really been nothing much going on here. It's been so drizzly and rainy and grey outside today. I feel like I've really done nothing. You really haven't missed much. I feel like all I've done is eat pumpkin soup, make dough and watch TV. I don't know, just nothing. I feel like I need to move in some way, and we're not really getting outside because it is very rainy today, so I don't think that's happening, but I feel like it'd feel good to move in some way, so I'm gonna do that, I think. This has risen. It's crazy. Holy. I can't believe that. Filled up the whole bowl.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by. It doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again? Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all.
Do you want to do a taste test with me?
Are you talking
To you.
your adoring fans or
To you.
Oh, so you're talking to me both ways, really.
Ooh, it's so squishy. Oh, so it's hot. I think that might have been one of the fresh ones. Okay, ready? Ready?
Oh. Delicious.
I feel like they would be quite good with syrup.
They're so fluffy.
Pumpkin donuts are all done and I'm happy that I made those. I have been wanting to make them for ages, ever since I bought that cookbook, because they sound so yum, and it's very nostalgic for me as well, because growing up there was a donut stall at the mall, and whenever we'd go there we used to get the little like really mini donuts that were covered in cinnamon sugar, and they're so yum. And so I was hoping to recreate some of that with these donuts, and they were very, very tasty. Not worth the effort though, not worth the effort. They just so much like time and so much oil. We have this like huge pot of oil now downstairs that we're gonna have to figure out what to do with, and also not super healthy for you, so definitely not something we're going to be making on the regular or anytime soon probably, because it's just a lot of work. But yeah, that's a wrap on Sunday, on our weekend together. Thanks so much for spending the weekend with me. I hope that you enjoyed watching. It was a good weekend. It was a nice cozy weekend, which is really, what more could you ask for? Thanks for being here and spending the time with me, and I hope that I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!